another one.
How do employers measure a QA tester / engineer's proficiency? All right. So for software engineers, some may measure someone's proficiency through GitHub / Leet code. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe not. I think you're wrong. But anyways, is there a similar measurement for QAs? I get that for automation testers, they can be measured similarly by uploading their projects to GitHub. But how about for manual testers? That is an interesting question. Let's start our timer. So, if you're asking how employers measure proficiency for someone they're looking to hire, then they can look at their GitHub, they can look at Lead code, but like for a software engineer, right? Or they can just ask them, coding questions, algorithm questions, problem solving questions, maybe give them a project to take care of, as part of the interview. Many different ways. Same could be said for automation testers, right? Where they usually, from what I've seen with automation testers, they'll probably give you a take home project and then they'll review it. Some companies, maybe like Amazon, maybe maybe Google, they'll probably bring you in and through different interviews with different people. I got this from the test lead. He recently interviewed with Amazon, and they brought him in. They asked him different algorithm questions and coding questions and stuff like that. But about manual testers, how is their proficiency measured? Honestly, it's very subjective, but here's the real answer, right? There's not many manual testers who are being evaluated for proficiency. Because barely anybody is hiring for manual testers. As much as as many people have gone to boot camps where they're paying like $8,000 to learn how to do manual testing in 6 weeks, sadly to find out that nobody is actually hiring for manual testers. Everybody wants a hybrid QA engineer where they can do automation and manual testing. Because they want you to do more automation testing than they want you to do manual testing. You still need to know manual testing. So really, when it comes to manual testing, it's going to be based on your critical thinking skills. Like when I interview people, I am really, really big on critical thinking skills. I'll ask questions and try to follow their thinking to see if they're I don't have a set answer in mind, but I have an idea of where I want them to get to, and I want to see how they're going to get there. Then we can ask some questions about, all right, if you were in this situation, how would you test this? What type of testing would you do for this? What type of testing would you do for that? Maybe we can ask you to write some actual test cases and measure your test cases. Honestly, it's like what? How do you navigate? How do you and then also some personality questions, because you also have to be an advocate for the customers, because the developer, like outside of like customer service and things like that, or support team, you are the closest person to the customer. Like you need to see it in the eyes of the customer. So I'm looking for people who are going to advocate for the customer, who are going to be looking at things like how can we test this from, like, when you're writing your test cases, it has to be from a customer perspective. What is the product owner missing? What is the software engineer missing? And that's the part that, like, when I think about manual testing, that's what I'm thinking about. It's not only about, oh, let me go do this smoke test and let me go do this white box testing, black box testing, gray box testing, all these, like, I remember I asked a group a question one time, and they started giving me like all these different types of. I'm like, I just want the answer. Like, it drives me crazy when I start getting all these canned answers, and like it doesn't push the initiative forward. So I want to see how you think. For the manual part of the game, I want strong critical thinking skills. I want strong problem solving skills. And that's what, like, it's very subjective, but if I ask you to write a test case, I want to see how you navigate through those test cases and like what flows, so if I tell you, all right, I want you to go and write a test case for navigating through the checkout process, like purchasing a ticket on JetBlue, right? Purchasing airline tickets on JetBlue, round trip tickets from this date to that date. I'm going to be looking in great detail on how you navigated it, what you're focusing on, things like that. All right. So that's when it comes to manual, that's the part of the proficiency, right? It's not on it's not like where I'm reviewing your code, but like I was saying, manual testing jobs aren't in demand like that right now. And they might not ever be again. Sad to say. So it's how can you pair that? How can you pair that with automation skills? That is the new and improved QA engineer. All right, that's all I gotta say. Let's wrap that question up.
Yo, living in this chaos, I can see it clear. People slacking off, yo, I can feel the fear. Trying to make it big, but they just playing games. While I'm busting my ass, they just chasing fame. What's the point of grinding if you don't hold it down? Hear me out, we gotta get it right. No more lazy walks, we gotta reignite. Rise above the noise, push through the pain. Don't let this dream slip, let's break those chains. Got my eyes on the prize, but it's looking real grim. When you ask for the truth, they pretend it's a whim. Success ain't a joke, man, it's blood, sweat, and tears. So why you out here fronting, drowning in your fears? We all want the glory, but do we want the grind? Hear me out, we gotta get it right. No more lazy walks, we gotta reignite. Rise above the noise, push through the pain. Don't let this dream slip, let's break those chains. So step up, don't fall back, let's do what's true. If we really want it, it starts with me and you. Yo, living in this chaos, I can see it clear. People slacking off, yo, I can feel the fear. Trying to make it big, but they just playing games. While I'm busting my ass, they just chasing fame. What's the point of grinding if you don't hold it down? Hear me out, we gotta get it right. No more lazy walks, we gotta reignite. Rise above the noise, push through the pain. Don't let the dream slip, let's break those chains. But let's break those chains. Let's break those chains. Let's break those chains. Let's break those chains. Got my eyes on the prize, but it's looking real grim. When you ask for the truth, they pretend it's a whim. Success ain't a joke, man, it's blood, sweat, and tears. So why you out here fronting, drowning in your fears? We all want the glory, but do we want the grind? We want the glory, but do we want the grind? Yeah. So step up, don't fall back, let's do what's true. If we really want it, it starts with me and you. Yeah. So step up, don't fall back, let's do what's true. If we really want